The razor slips. Blood runs down your chin, mixing with shaving cream in the dirty basin. You're 14 years old, standing in a cramped Brooklyn apartment that smells like boiled cabbage and desperation. Outside, the streets of Navy Yard are screaming with vendors, drunks, and men who'd kill you for the 3 cents in your pocket. You wipe your face with a rag that hasn't been washed in weeks. This is your life. This is America in 1913, and you have no idea that in 15 years, you'll own Chicago. Your name is Alphonse Gabriel Capone. Your friends call you Al. Your father works as a barber, cutting hair for immigrants who can barely afford bread. Your mother Teresina keeps the family together through sheer Italian stubbornness. There are 9 children. You're the 4th. Nobody expects anything from you. School bores you to tears. The teachers drone on about subjects that mean nothing to a kid from the streets. You're smart, actually, smarter than most. But the classroom feels like a cage, and you've never been good with cages. At 14, you punch a teacher who grabbed you too hard. She hit you first. That's your story, anyway. You're expelled from public school, and your formal education ends forever. 6th grade. That's it. That's all the learning you'll ever get from books. But the streets? The streets teach you everything else. You take jobs. Delivery boy, clerk at a candy store, pin setter at a bowling alley. Honest work, your mother says. She lights candles and prays you'll stay away from the gangs that run the neighborhood like shadow governments. You try. You really do. But poverty has gravity, and the gravitational pull of easy money is stronger than any mother's prayers. Johnny Torrio notices you first. He's a small man with wire-rimmed glasses who looks more like an accountant than a criminal mastermind. But Torrio runs the James Street gang, and he sees something in you. Potential. Ambition. A willingness to do what needs doing without asking too many questions. He becomes your mentor. Your professor. Your introduction to a world where violence is currency and loyalty is the only law that matters. You're 18 when you start working at the Harvard Inn in Coney Island. It's a bar, a dance hall, and a front for every racket imaginable. The owner is Frankie Yale, a man whose smile never reaches his eyes. Your job is simple. Bounce the drunks, pour the drinks, and keep your mouth shut about the things happening in the back rooms. You're good at all 3. Then comes the scar. You're working the door when a woman walks in with curves that stop conversations. Her name doesn't matter. What matters is that she's with Frank Galluccio, a small-time hood with a temper the size of his insecurities. You make a comment about her figure, something crude, something you'd never say to a woman if you had any sense. Galluccio doesn't appreciate your poetry. He pulls a knife. 3 quick slashes, left cheek, jaw, neck. Blood everywhere, pooling on the wooden floor of the Harvard Inn while the band keeps playing because what else are they supposed to do? You survive. The wounds heal into thick, angry scars that you'll carry for the rest of your life. The newspapers will call you Scarface. You'll hate that name. You'll tell reporters the scars came from fighting in France during the Great War. That's a lie. You never served. But the lie sounds better than admitting you got carved up for being stupid about a woman. Johnny Torrio moves to Chicago in 1919. He's working with Big Jim Colosimo now, running the largest prostitution empire in the city. Torrio sends for you. Chicago needs men like you, he says. Chicago is the future. You arrive in the middle of January 1920, the same month Prohibition becomes law. The same month the United States government hands organized crime the greatest gift in history, illegal alcohol. Think about it. One day, every bar, every saloon, every corner tavern in America is legal. The next day, they're all criminal enterprises. Millions of Americans still want to drink. They don't care about the law. They don't care about morality. They care about having a beer after work, a whiskey on Saturday night, a bottle of champagne at their daughter's wedding. And now the only way to get any of that is through people like you. Torrio sees the opportunity immediately. Prostitution is messy. Gambling is competitive. But bootlegging? Bootlegging is a gold mine with no bottom. You start small. Beer, mostly. Chicago is a beer town. You set up breweries and warehouses. You bribe the cops to look the other way. You negotiate with other gangs to divide territories. North side gets theirs. South side gets yours. Everyone makes money. Nobody has to die. For a while, it works. Big Jim Colosimo becomes a problem. He's old school. He doesn't understand the new game. When Torrio pushes him to expand into bootlegging, Colosimo refuses. He's comfortable. He's in love with a singer named Dale Winter. He wants to retire. Retire. Can you imagine? A man sitting on top of an empire and wanting to walk away. On May 11, 1920, Big Jim Colosimo takes a bullet in the back of the head in the vestibule of his own restaurant. The killer was never officially identified. You attended the funeral. 4,000 people showed up. Judges, politicians, singers from the opera. They all came to mourn a pimp. That's Chicago for you. Torrio takes over. You become his right hand. And for the next 4 years, you build an empire so vast it makes the railroads look like lemonade stands. Your operation runs like a legitimate corporation. You have accountants tracking every dollar. You have lawyers on retainer handling the legal complications. You have delivery drivers, warehouse managers, salespeople who negotiate with speakeasies and restaurants. At its peak, your organization employs over 1,000 people. Your annual revenue exceeds $100 million in 1925, when the average worker makes $1,500 a year. But you're not just a businessman. You're a politician without a ballot. You buy aldermen like groceries. You own judges. The mayor of Cicero, a suburb you've essentially annexed, does whatever you tell him. When he forgets this arrangement, your men drag him down the steps of City Hall and kick him in front of witnesses. Nobody does anything. Nobody can. The North Side Gang doesn't appreciate your expansion.